Sup, it's your boy Corey B. So let's talk about the market and what's going on right now. So the reality is, yes, there's a lot of volatility in the market, but you have to remember what is controlling the market. The consumer controls the market. You, the consumer, are in control. Now, that doesn't mean you are 100% in control because you're not the only consumer. But it is the consumer who's driving the market. The consumer always drives the market. And the reality is that right now, if you look at things, and you've really been managing the market, you've been managing your portfolio, so to speak, because you can't really... it's hard to truly affect what's happening in the market, but it's easy to capitalize when you're paying attention. And that's the key. It's just to capitalize. It's not your job. It's not your duty to control what's happening. It's your duty to manage your portfolio. Be sure that your investments are being placed strategically so you can capitalize on what's happening. So in the first and second quarter of the year, things were on a drastic decline. And things were in a drastic decline because people saw these things happening in the economy and people panicked. Some people panicked and started selling off because ultimately they needed cash. They needed liquid to be able to do things because some people weren't ready to go back to work. Some people were struggling to find work. Some people were having this this challenge of where they had lost the job and they're looking for a job that's comparable or equivalent or better, which is a fair thing to think and fair perspective to have, but ultimately sometimes can be challenging. When you lose a job, you have some months down, you have some, time off, and then you're trying to level up to the next level. It's like sometimes it's hard to jump in with your feet above where they were already, but that's where a lot of people were. And then there's been, then there's been people applying for jobs that ultimately they were overqualified for. And you had people, you've seen things on TikTok, you've seen things on Instagram and Facebook and things like that where people are like, oh, well, are these people just being overlooked because they're overqualified, or they're people overlooked because they think it's a lie, they think it's false, or they think whatever. And sometimes people have not. There was a lady that her TikTok went viral because she said it was all scam, people looking for jobs, and she thought it was all a scam because she wasn't being able to find her job, but she ultimately wasn't. She didn't have her resume designed properly, and it was being digitally revoked without people ever seeing it. Okay, now this is a thing that far too many people are unaware of. There is a way to design a resume, and ultimately including things like pictures and stuff. Get your resume digitally rejected before someone's even ever saw it. Okay, like I said, we could sit here and talk for an hour. We could talk for hours about the many reasons that people were without work and that people needed liquid in their pocket. But that doesn't matter. What the relevancy is right now is that people needed liquid. So people sold things. People sold off their assets and decided to utilize their money in other ways. Some people liquidated their assets because they didn't trust the market, because they saw things happening in the economy. They got fearful or whatever. There's also many experts. I use the word experts lightly because there's people with a platform who are telling you that the country's in an economic crisis and it's time to stop trusting the stock market. Okay. The stock market isn't something you trust. That's because people are looking at the market incorrectly. Warren Buffett recently did an interview, and he talked about the exact thing, which he talked about years ago in an interview, and he talked about the same problem. And he talked about it again just a couple of months ago. The problem is people look at the stock market the wrong way. They're viewing the stock market as a gauge. It's like supposed to tell them how well they're doing. It doesn't tell you how well you're doing. What it is basically a not-so-silent partner. But that silent partner is only as silent as you choose to allow them to be, because the more times you check it, it becomes less and less silent. If you're checking the market on a daily basis, or some people are checking it hourly, that market is not so silent. Okay, so what we're dealing with is people who are checking the market and they're expecting the market to tell them, oh, I'm doing a good job, or oh no, I'm doing a bad job, I got to do something different. But that's not what the market does. The market tells you, basically, the way Buffett explained it is like, imagine yourself being in a small town, right? Okay, this is a great analogy, okay? You're in a small town, right? If you're in a small town and you decide, Joe comes up to you and says, hey, guess what? I'm going to open this garage. I want you to partner with me, right? And you say, oh, okay, well, I can afford X amount of dollars to invest and help you get off the ground. And so you become a 10% partner because you stake 10% of the investment into the company. Okay, so he's got his shop going, and he's not going to come to you every day and be like, hey, man, I could buy that 10% back for you for this amount of money, and you could have your money in your pocket. I'm doing well now. I could afford to pay you a little more than what you staked. Okay, that's what, he's not going to do that, but that's what the stock market is. It's like a silent partner that's every day saying, hey, if you check in with me, this is what I'll buy back your shares for. If you believe in the company that you've bought into, then you believe in that company. The company tanking because of the economic structure that's going on, the crisis in our economy, the things that are happening in the United States or in different countries here, there. Domino's is a perfect example. Domino's just shut down. They partnered with this company in order to start doing deliveries, doing one of the first pizza delivery companies in Italy. In Italy, of all places. Okay, they don't have American pizza in Italy. So Domino's thought they were capitalizing on something, which they were for a moment. This was in, I believe it was 2018 that they initially started the process, and I believe it was early 2019 when they finally launched and started, offering this. And I may be a little fuzzy on those dates, but I think that's about right. But the thing is
I could just do it, bro. Something.
Since the pandemic, more local Italian places that made pizzas, that made authentic Italian pizza pies, man, they started offering delivery during the pandemic that they had never offered before. Because why would they offer that? They didn't want people to get it delivered, because you want this fresh. The key is to go to the restaurant, get it fresh, and it's delicious. But they were like, okay, well, we don't have a choice because, there's a pandemic. We can't close down our restaurant. So what we'll do, start offering deliveries. Not that the pandemic is, kind of, some people are still got their thoughts and feelings about the pandemic, but it's pretty much at the tail end, to say the least. Okay, so with that being said, now all these companies are still offering deliveries. And now Domino's struggled. Domino's is backing out. Domino's has recently shut down all their restaurants in Italy, and they're done. They're done. They're back to being just, and they're still one of the largest chains in the world, but they're no longer available in Italy, which is interesting because after shutting down, weeks after shutting down, their stock's up. Their stock's up because they're still doing great things. They're doing several innovative things, and my point here is not to encourage you to buy Domino stock. Don't buy Domino stock. Buy Domino stock. I don't care. This is not meant as a tip for to buy a certain stock or to advocate for being against a certain stock. But the idea is that to believe in what you bought into in the first place. If you bought into a company because it was a viable company, then the company's still viable. I have stake in Domino's. My stake in Domino's is doing really well. Thank you very much. Was I concerned when Domino's started to trickle down just a little bit? No, man, it trickled, man. It trickles. The stock market is a fluctuating, it's a living, breathing thing. Do you have good days and bad days? Absolutely. So does the stock market. And the stock market is gauged by the consumer, and they are fickle, and they do strange things, and they do weird things, and people buy for silly reasons, and people sell for silly reasons. People sold off shares in Tesla because Elon Musk said something they didn't like. People bought into Tesla because Elon Musk said something that they liked. Is that a reason to buy into a company? Absolutely not. But that's what people do. People buy and sell based on their emotions, and it falls into the volatility. it elevates the volatility. It completely feeds and fuels the volatility of the stock market. That's what's happening, and that's what's always happening. That's what's been happening since the stock market opened, and is what's happening every day in the S&P. And then people are talking about, well, the S&P looks like this right now. And I said, okay,
I'll pick a bucket.
pay attention to your company. If you've invested in a company, I advise you, this is what I advise you, not to buy and sell into a different company or this or that company. I advise you to actually take some time to read up on the company that you bought into, and do you still back this company? Do you still back what they do? Do you believe that they're going to be profitable in time? And if you do, then do not sell. If you look at the stock market right now, you have an opportune moment. An opportune moment to capitalize and get the same company, more shares of the company you've already bought into, on sale, on discount. If somebody told you your favorite soda or your favorite whatever was discounted at the grocery store right now, would you go buy some extra to throw in your pantry and be like, dude, I got a discount today? Heck yeah. Okay, it's the same thing. It's not going to go bad. It's going to be fine. It's going to, like, you're getting your shares on discount. This is even better than getting a discount at the grocery store, because this is going to make you money. Oh, I heed you. I urge you. I insist that you pay attention. I insist. I'm pleading with you, man, because I care. Because I know that ultimately there's plenty of wealth out there. There's plenty of money. There's people think that, oh man, we're going to run out of money. No, we're not going to run out of money. Yes, the country is doing some silly things with money right now. And yes, there's lots of people doing silly things. But is there plenty of money for you to earn some money and take care of your family and be more than happy and more than well off? And can you have a future? Yes, absolutely. So let's go get yours. Let's stop playing around. Let's stop buying into the fear-mongering. Let's stop buying into the headlines and the nonsense. And let's believe to achieve. Let's get it done, man. For real. Let's get it done. So read up. Get educated. Spend some time learning and knowing what you're buying into. Don't just buy into something because it was a hype, because somebody told you to. Believe in the company that you're buying into. And if you believed in it last year, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, have they done anything business-wise, logistically, economically? Have they done something that makes you, causes you to have lost confidence in their ability to earn money and earn you money? And if they haven't, then why would you sell? What I urge you to do is stop buying into this bear market nonsense and go buy, be a bull in the bear. You know what I'm saying? Go buy you some stuff. That's what I'm doing. That's what I urge you to do. But I'm not going to tell you who to buy. It's not my style. It's just not my style. The things that I mentioned today, Tesla, Domino's, I mentioned these things only as examples, not as suggestions. These are not stock tips. Do what you got to do. Do your due diligence. Learn some things. And believe in what you're doing. Alright. Till next time, it's your boy. Y'all stay cocky. Let's get it done. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Ding that bell, get your notifications, and stay tuned, because I got more coming at you.
No.
Later.
I'll get it for you.